So for this lesson, the students are creating works of art using 3 different studio centers. So for choice-based art education, you teach in centers. So the students have already learned about drawing, they've learned about painting, and now for this lesson, they're learning about collage. The way the students start this lesson is they always come into the art room and they always have the poster of the studio habit. So the students know that they enter the room, they go ahead and watch a demonstration on a new material. So for this lesson, the teacher would be demonstrating different collaging materials and techniques. The students will then pick their materials, decide on their subject, and go ahead and start independently working in the different studios. The timer, which is right behind me, the time timer, that's so that the students can know when cleanup is and to kind of self-monitor where they are in their working for the day. The final step is really important, is reflecting and discussing what they did, what they learned, and this is used for each and every time that the students come in. So there's also different things on my list that say what the artists do and that they help up, they make their choices, and they keep working on their artwork to revisit and revise. How do artists think of their ideas? What do they think of? What do they make? So the students always see this poster, which lets them think about what they're going to make. And for each choice-based project, we have a mini conference. So the students sit with me on the carpet, we have the posters up behind us, and we make an art plan. So the art plan is something that they tell me or they point to. We look at their inspiration folders, which were created based off of a list of 10 things that the students love at the beginning of the choice-based, moving to choice-based art. So in their folders, they have a bunch of images to help spark the conversation when they come up to meet with me. It talks about what is my art about, what materials will I use, and why did I choose the subject that I chose. Once they come up with this, we print out some more images of inspiration. The students then do a pre-planned drawing. So in this case, the student chose to make a dog. And with her dog, then they start to go ahead and make their artwork. We break the artwork up into the background and to the subject matter. So in this student's case, the first day she visited the painting and the collage center. So what she did was she first painted the background all blue, then she used the different collage materials and she came up with her own solution to make a patterned border for her picture. So that was something I did not demonstrate. She came up with it on her own. I also have a bunch of scissors to use, different materials of papers. So in this case, this student chose to go ahead and collage some different materials on to represent clouds, along with the shapes that she chose. There's also string and yarn and fabrics and all different types of papers, but the students choose what they want to use. The second day of work, and the students began to paint their subject matter, and she chose a dog. Students choose their own subject matter. So once they could either draw or they could paint their subject, they could also collage their subject as well. So in this case, the student first drew and then she painted. She also came up with a solution to use the paint bottles that are used to distribute the paint as a way to outline her work. So that was another problem-solving technique. The last day of art, they cut out their work, whatever their subject is, they glue it or collage it onto their background, and then they add any last-minute details. So this student has visited all 3 centers. She demonstrated understanding of the materials, she understood her subject matter, and she developed her subject matter as she worked, and she showed strong evidence of lots of problem-solving techniques. So for the rubric, there is 3 tiered rubrics for this lesson, and there is a Tier 1, Emerging Artist, Tier 2, On Target, and on Level 3 is Advanced Artist. So Tier 1, I'm looking to make sure that the students all hit the same criteria, but they are mostly looking at did they use 3 new materials. Tier 2, they're still sitting the same criteria that you can see on the rubric, but I'm looking to see, did they use the materials in a new way that I did not demonstrate? So this student, yes, she has hit that, but she's considered one of my advanced artist because she shows lots of problem solving techniques. I try to make sure that she challenges herself to come up with her own problem solving. So tier 3, I'm looking to the student use problem solving techniques, they use the materials, and go above and beyond that. So for this lesson, it's choice-based art education. We're looking at using 3 different art centers of different materials. And then the students, the way that they get assessed is while they are working, while they finish their artwork, then they come meet with me and they orally tell me their artist statement about their work, and then they orally go over the rubric with me to self-monitor and self-check. So that's the summary of this lesson and how it can be used in the art room. So some things to take away is timers really help. Visual aids really help with this, making sure that the students are aware of what the order of the day is each time they come in. Routines are very important, and making sure that the students are held accountable for coming up with their own ideas and then executing those ideas over a couple of working days. Thanks.